Hey, good evening, everybody. We do have a winner in the Guess the Fence Post contest, and I'll announce that here in just a minute. But first, let's take a look at what we've been working on. This fence was built towards the end of March, and the first thing we did this year was get out there and get up enough fence so that the cattle could be turned out onto pasture for the spring. Some of it, like this, was replaced, and there's lots of places where we just tightened wires and added the occasional post. I did have the neighbor over with his rock drill, and he drilled 28 holes for me the day that he was there. Now, barbed wire has been the primary fence in this area ever since the homesteaders showed up. We have replaced some of it with high-tensile electric fence, but in some of the drier parts of the farm it just doesn't work well. It doesn't get enough conductivity in the summertime to really function. Now, barbed wire fence by homestead standards was a post every rod, or 16.5 feet, which totaled 320 to the mile. And since I tend to put them a little closer together, and every time you put in a brace post you add post to your fence line, so I usually figure about 350 to the mile. And when I started this contest, I didn't know how far I would get, but I was hoping to hit the 350 mark. So we'll see how we did. Going down this line here, the wire was good, the stretch posts were good, so all I had to do was pull a bunch of steel out, straighten them up, and oh, we've hit turbulence with the drone. This is what happens when you fly through a whirlwind. But anyway, I added a bunch of wood posts to reinforce this fence line as I went through. Got all the wires tightened up, and it was about 1/3 of a mile long. And this is about as easy as fencing gets. The dirt was easy to dig. There's a little roll to it which is not perfect, but in general it's a straight line, and it's really easy to put this kind of fence in, so your post numbers go up pretty quickly. Take you over and show you what my next project is, and it's going to take a lot more work because it's just in a tougher position to work on. Okay, so here's the big stretch of fence for the year. It runs down the road from my house, which we're flying towards right now, up to the northwest corner of the farm, and it's about 1.75 miles in length. I've got posts in for, well, the wooden posts anyway, in for about 1/2 mile. I've got the H posts in, they still need to be tied, and I've got the steel posts yet to put in. And I would probably have some of them in already, but I ran out of posts. I picked some up on Thursday, but I've got field work that's been keeping me off of this, and every so often I'll get an hour or two and I'll come up here and work on this like crazy for a while, and then I go off to do other things. I'm thinking that this 1/2 mile through here that's on this hillside probably will be finished in about 1.5 weeks. I think there's about 3 days and I'll have it done. It doesn't look like there's much if you're just looking at it, but the reality is once you get the wood in the ground, and especially once the stretch posts are made, the steel goes in really fast, and then all you have to do is attach wires. It's going to be all new barbed wire through here, and that's going to take a little while to unroll because the hillside's steep enough that I can't really just ride an ATV along it or drive on there with anything. So it'll take a little bit longer, but once that's done, as I get heading south down the road, I'll be able to start using a tractor to put the posts in. I'll still drive the steel posts by hand, but I can drive the wooden posts with the tractor, and that'll speed things up a lot. I don't know if it really puts them in the ground as much faster as by hand, but once they're in, you can move the tractor and you don't have to stop and pant, which is really what takes the time, I think. Yeah, most of this hillside along here, which is a full 1/2 mile, maybe a little more, is pretty steep for running a tractor on. Through here I could, I suppose, have gotten away with it. but I didn't really want the post driver up there. It's steep enough with that extra weight up on top of the tractor. I just don't feel good about it. But at least I can drive the side-by-side or an ATV through here and string wire with it. And then once we get around this corner and hit it down the hill, we'll be back into tractor area again. That'll help out quite a bit. But you can see there's still quite a ways to go. Probably get the neighbor back with the rock drill to help me on some of this where it's going over that scab rock. There's no way to put holes in there without some kind of a drill. And you can kind of see as we get up here just a little bit further, we'll go down to the bottom of that hill around the corner, and when we get up to where that lake starts, that's where the fence will stop. There they are, guys, the tools of the trade. That's what's put in all the posts so far this year. Got the post hole diggers, the digging bar, and the post driver, and occasionally a shovel. And you just go to work. It's amazing what you can get done if you just stick to it. Okay, I've probably rambled on long enough. You can kind of see what we've been up to with the fence. Whenever we get a spare moment, just go out and work on it for a while. Occasionally I've spent the whole day, but most of the time it's just a few hours here and there. Alright, well, I guess it's probably time to announce the winner. So, without further ado, the winner of this prize package, with a guess of 300 posts, is Northern Wisconsin Farming. The actual total number was 301. I was hoping to do a little bit better, but that's what I had time for. So, if you guys have a chance, swing by, check it out. It's a nice little cow-calf operation where they raise crops to help support the livestock. I've been watching them for 2 or 3 years now. Great channel. Take the time and check them out. Northern Wisconsin Farming. One last thing before I go. I'm going to leave an email in the description. So, Brad, if you watch this, please get in touch with me and we'll get mailing information and we'll get that soap out to you and your wife. You guys, I hope you'll enjoy it. Have a great day. Thanks, everybody. Catch you next time.